Hey guys, Thrasher here, and today we're talking about Spirit Bomb Goku. That's right, he's finally released. How does he work? How do you use him on a team? What teams does he work on? Is he really good? Is he gonna live up to the hype? Let's find out right now. Okay, before we get started, I just want to take a minute and just look at this card art. This card is beautiful, and check this out. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's get into the video. So Goku is considered by a lot to be a tank, but I like to refer to him as a damage sponge support unit. And we'll get into more how that works in a second. But if you're using him just as a straight up tank, I think you might be using him wrong. And let's get into his abilities, and I will explain what I mean by that. So if we go to his ability tab and we look at his abilities, the first thing we're going to notice is his unique ability increases his damage by a lot when no one on the team is dead. So it's a good idea, you don't necessarily have to do this, but it's a pretty good idea to have Goku lead out. His blast damage is not very good, his strike damage is good. If you have this active, then he's a lot more balanced. The other thing that's awesome about this card is his main ability. He buffs blast damage for the entire team. So your enemy is going to take 40% more blast damage, period. So if you have this card on your team with Vegeta, the great thing that you can do is you sponge a bunch of damage with Goku, you set your cards up with Ki Blasts, and then you use this Last Hope main ability, you then switch into Vegeta, you use Vegeta's 50% more blast damage ability, and then you start hitting the Ki Blast with Vegeta, and you just watch enemies fall. They just disintegrate. No one survives this, period. The Z ability is 19%, and this goes up obviously. He's only a 2-star right now. 19% to base strike defense, which is good if you're on an All Saiyan team, which in my opinion is where Spirit Bomb Goku shines the most. If you ask me, he is the missing piece to the All Saiyan team. So there were people who were running All Saiyan teams, but if you had all of the sparking units in the game before this unit came out, a lot of people would run Piccolo, Vegeta, and then some people would run Pan, some people would run Pikkon. But now that this unit is out, I really feel that he completes the All Saiyan team. So if you remove the Hero Yellow Goku and you put in this Spirit Bomb Goku instead, and then you run this Goku, the Super Saiyan Goku, and the Sparking Vegeta as your main team, lead off with this Goku, and then use your main ability and switch to either of the two. You probably want to switch to Vegeta because that's the best synergy, but even if you switch to the Super Saiyan Goku, people are going to absolutely disintegrate. He makes your team do so much damage, it's unreal. So in reality, he's not a tank, he's a damage sponge who can take a lot more damage than the 2 glass cannons who you're going to be running, and he buffs their damage even more. So without beating a dead horse, I would say the best team for this Goku is an All Saiyan team, but any team where your damage dealer is Ki Blast heavy, he's a great unit. So if you have a team set up where your main damage dealer does a lot of Ki Blast damage, he's going to buff them big time. Just make sure he gets his main ability off before you bring your damage dealer in, and you should be able to absolutely destroy whoever you're fighting. Okay, so let's go look at the stats for Goku and see how he compares to the other sparking units in the game now that all of the sparking units that we know of are all available now. So as we go down this list, one thing I want to note is Goku is a very tanky unit. Although I said before that he's not a straight up tank, he is a damage sponge. That is his job, is to take damage. He's just not a Piccolo who is supposed to just sit there and take a beating the entire time. So his health, he has the 3rd highest health pool in the game behind Piccolo and Pikkon. He has the 3rd best strike attack, so he can take a lot of damage and he can dish out a good amount of physical damage. He has the 5th best, so 2nd worst blast attack in the game. Because of his main ability and his unique ability, he can do decent blast damage as long as the entire team's alive. So if you lead out with him first, he's very balanced. His strike defense is 2nd behind Piccolo, blast defense 2nd behind Piccolo. Like I said before, he is very, very tanky while not being a straight up tank. He doesn't have that damage reduction mechanic that Piccolo has. He is first in the game in critical. He has the highest chance to crit out of any sparking unit. So criticals aren't super important right now in the game. If it goes the route of Dokkan where criticals become important, that's cool. I don't see that really being a thing. And even with that being the case, the way critical works in the game right now, it's only a 25% damage increase when you do crit, and it doesn't happen that often. So I don't think this is a super important stat right now, but it is something to mention that he has the highest crit. He has the second best key restore in the game behind Pan. So, like I said before, he's almost a setup unit like Pan. He is that support unit who takes a little bit of damage sponges, he sets your cards up the way you want them, you use his main ability, and now that you've chewed through all of your strike attacks, your ki blasts are ready to go, you bring in Vegeta, and you just mow somebody down. So the last thing we should probably talk about is his future-proofness. How long will he stay in the meta? I think he's a very good unit who works no matter who your other units are. So unless another unit comes in that does the exact same thing Goku does, where he buffs blast damage, I think Spirit Bomb Goku is going to stay for quite a while. I think that he's one of those units that, as they bring in more powerful blast damage units, Vegeta will fall away. As they bring in more powerful strike units, Pikkon will fall away. But I think this is a unit who, unless they bring in essentially a carbon copy, he has a very specific job on a very specific team, and as long as that's the team you're running, he'll stay there for a long time. And that's pretty much my review of Spirit Bomb Goku. If you like this content, make sure to like and subscribe, and if you have anything you want to tell me about Spirit Bomb Goku, the way you've been using him, whether you think he's good or not, make sure to throw it in the comments, and I will see you guys on the next video.